Good morning, Kitchen Witches. Today is Thursday, June 25th, and this is your tarot and menu inspiration for the day. I'm Chef Lisa, editor-in-chief of A Chef's Grimoire magazine. We're going to shuffle and pull one card. That's going to be it. That's all we need to know. One card. So what is that card going to be for Thursday, the 25th? What card? Of all the cards, what card? Okay. Ready? Here we go. It's the Page of Cups. Pages. Pages are awesome. All right, so our new tarot enthusiasts. We have the majors, right? We know them. We know them inside and out. Now we're moving on to learning about the minors. Minor arcana, within them, there's the aces, which are pure elements, right? The gifts from the universe, pure elemental energy. They are numbered 1. Aces are 1s, so therefore ruled by the magician. However, also within the minor arcana are the court cards, families that live within the deck, and within the minor arcana. Each family is ruling over a suit. So think of it this way, right? There's 4 individuals within each family. There's the page, which is the youngest. There is the knight, which is the adolescent. There is the queen, which is the mother nurturer. And then there's the king, which is the father and the be-all, end-all. That's a family, right? Page, knight, queen, and king. So there are 4 elements. There are cups, which are emotions. There's swords, which are our thoughts, and there are pentacles, which are tangibility and the things we could touch, feel, hold, and shape. And then there are wands, which are our passions, our drive, our inspiration. So each of the 4 individuals within each family rules over one of the 4 elements, and there's 4 families. So 4, 4, 4. Think of it that way. Right, so now, court cards literally for almost every tarot reader are the most difficult. Why? Because yes, they all mean something, but their meanings change and form as a person does, right? People change. People have the same footprint, but they're constantly growing, ebbing, flowing, using one of an element, but also bringing in another element, right? We don't make decisions just by our emotions. We use all of our elementals within us. That's what the magician teaches you. Use all the elements to their full potential, because you have those, right? You don't need anything else. Learn how to use all of them. So when you're making a really difficult decision, you're not only doing it from a mindful place or a heartfelt place, you're doing it from a moral stand and passionate stand, right? And you're also doing it for how it's going to affect your circumstances, your tangible circumstances. So there's a lot of these elements involved in making decisions, right? And I say that because when we have our court cards, we're dealing with a page. Now the pages are the children of the deck. Yes, so they're ruling over their element, which in this case is cups, is the purest way of utilizing that element. So think of children, right? They're going to let you know their emotions. I think of this card as like someone, even if they're not a child, they could be 102, but if they have the personality of wearing their heart on their sleeve, they would be considered this card, the Page of Cups. So children, as easy example, would be, if they're angry, they're going to have a temper tantrum. Just, they are. And they don't care where they are. They're just going to do it, right? So they could be in the middle of the mall. They don't care. They're unhappy. And they're going to let everybody know about it. And then after they do, they're going to be smiling and they're going to, they're going to be fine. They just have to let that emotion go and ride that wave. And then when they're done, right? They don't harbor. They don't fester. They just feel. And so when I was first learning court cards, what I would do is I would pick a particular card for the morning, and I would go throughout my day and look at people and watch them and say, oh, you know what? That person has the Page of Cups energy, or that person has the Knight of Wands energy, right? So, and in doing that, I was able to have a clearer vision in my mind when I pulled the card of what it means, because it can get confusing. So all that said, court cards are going to be difficult, but for today, we're using the Page of Cups energy. And how we're going to do that is we're going to put our emotions into everything we do. So if you're one to hold your emotions back and be more logical, maybe just today, you try being a little more emotionally present. That's all I'm saying. So, good example. It's Thursday. You both are rushing to get out of the house, right? You're with your significant other, if you have one, or even your dog, great, or child, whatever. But, you're not going to see them for a few hours. So what is your parting greeting? Is it usually see you later and you're out the door? Is it, hasta la vista, whatever it is. But why don't you also add, I love you? Because you do. When was the last time you told them? So today might be that day. Right. So, small steps. But whatever the emotion is, make sure that it's pure. It comes from a pure place, because that's what our page would do. So now, let's think about what our pages would want for their meals. I'm thinking we should go with meals that are inspired by childlike emotions. Yes. So childhood emotional foods. For me, and I can only go by me, and hopefully this works into your realm as well, but I'm thinking a dippy egg with toast. Yeah. So a dippy egg, if you don't know what it is, or you've never had it, or you call it something else and not a dippy egg, what it is an egg you take from your fridge, cold. Boil water on the stovetop, just water, no salt, nothing. Water boiling vigorously. And you take a slotted spoon or something that you can put the egg or eggs into. You can do plural, just depends on the size of your pot and the water in it. And you're going to lower that cold, while it's cold, into the very, very hot water. And you lower it until your spoon can come away and the eggs are now at the bottom of the pot uncracked. Because you don't want to just let them go from the top. They'll crack when they fall and then all the whites will come up. It's a mess. So you want to lower them gently so that they don't crack under that pressure. They're in the pot. Immediately set your timer to 6 minutes or 4 minutes. 4 minutes, right? 3 or 4 minutes, right? It depends. 6 minutes is more of a jammy egg where the yolk will stay intact when it's cut, but it will ooze a little bit. We want it oozier, We want the whites to be set, but the yolk to be almost not cooked at all, so that it runs. So 3 to 4 minutes that you're setting your timer for while it's at its boil. When the minutes are up, you're going to drain it off and immediately put it into either ice water, from your ice maker, in a bowl with water that's cold, to shock them and stop their cooking process. If you don't have ice available to you, just get your tap water super cold, pour out all the hot liquid, and add all the cold liquid. And you might have to drain it off a couple times because the eggs are going to stay hot even in cold water, and you need to replenish cold water on top of them to really stop the cooking process. So now the eggs have stopped cooking and they're ready to eat. They're still a little warm, which is good. Put your toast in the toaster. At this point, if you have an egg cup, which is a little vessel that kind of just holds one egg upright perfectly on a little base, great. If not, you can put it in a ramekin, fine. But proper dippy egg would be where you keep the shell on half of the egg, but expose the top. So you have to crack the shell and just peel the upper part of the egg. And so it's in its own shell standing upright. And then with a spoon, you can go in and it's just like delicious. And you can dip your toast into it. A little salt, that's all it needs. Butter your toast. So there you go, a dippy egg with toast. And you can cut your toast into pieces that are long, right? Instead of a big piece of toast, just long pieces that are easier dipped into the egg. Yum. Breakfast done. Moving on to lunch. Ramen noodles. Children love it. It's great and it's delicious and it'll bring you back, right? If you haven't had a good ramen in a long time. I know they have ramen restaurants now that are very great. Yeah, I mean, they do everything from scratch and it's a little more chefy ramen, but I'm thinking just a ramen package with open it up, put it in water, open up the spice thing, put it in less than 3 minutes you're eating. And it's great for a Thursday if you're at work and you only have the cafeteria or the microwave area, to make your soup. Ramen noodle soup. Yum. Delicious. Make you feel good. Now, for dinner, I'm thinking taco stuffed peppers. Stuffed peppers. I don't know about you, but it's, a kid meal. Every kid loves their stuffed peppers, or at least the stuff inside, and they don't eat the pepper. But it's pretty presentation. It's that initial start to understanding not only the food by taste and smell, but also visually, right? Because a stuffed pepper is quite lovely to look at, yeah? You can do a red or a green. I prefer red because they're sweeter. Pepper with whatever it's stuffed with, presented to you on a plate. It's interesting, yeah? Makes you kind of perk up. And all of your senses are in that meal, not just, from the way it smells and tastes, but visually, it's pretty. So you take your bell pepper and you need to put it in the oven in a little bit of a water bath to steam it through first, right? Get it to that it's soft. While that's in the oven working, you're going to be sauteing your ground meat, usually beef. You can use turkey, you can use chicken, fine, but it's ground, yeah? And you're going to saute that with some onions, more bell pepper, at least, the top or whatever you're not using of the bell pepper that's standing up. If it's edible, throw it in. And anything else you can think of, right, to throw in there. You're going to add some taco seasoning. And then you're going to shred up some cheese. That's going to go on top, ooey gooey over the top. And you can serve that with sour cream, guacamole, salsa. Yeah, you can even throw some salsa into the saute, which is nice, right, for flavor. And then you stuff that into the pepper, melt some cheese over the top, and that is a yummy meal that adults like in addition to children. So, Page of Cups. Bring emotion into your day and make it be heartfelt. Yeah. Let those around you that you really love know it. However way you can do that. But bottom line, and I know our page would approve, you should nourish yourself and nourish all those around you with your kitchen magic. See you tomorrow.